Alright, in this video we are going to be multiplying some rational expressions, in other words, fractions. I'm going to do two different types. The first one is going to be like this. We have 4x squared over 5y times 7y over 12x to the fourth. Now with this type, what I generally do is I cancel top to bottom what is in common. So for example, I have a 4 here. 4 goes into itself one time and it goes into 12 3 times. So I just cancel. I have an x squared. That means there are two x's on top, x to the fourth on the bottom. There are 4 x's on the bottom. So I can cancel out 2 x's. So all of them cancel from the top. And what I generally do is I change the exponent. So 4 take away 2 is 2, so I have an x squared on the bottom. I can cancel a y from top and bottom. All right. Now what's left is I have 1 times 7, which is 7, over 5 times 3x squared. So 5 times 3 is 15. And then x squared comes along for the ride. And there we have it, 7 over 15x squared. Now, that's a simpler type. And now I'm going to do another one that's a little more complex. All right. Now, this one I have x squared minus 5x plus 6 over x squared minus 4 times x squared plus 3x plus 2 over x squared minus 2x minus 3. All right. My first step is I factor the numerator and denominator of each fraction. So first fraction, 2 sets of parentheses. I am going to have an x and an x. I want numbers that multiply to give me a positive 6. So that means I have to have the same sign. And then when I add them together, I get a negative 5. Well, that's going to be a minus 2 and a minus 3. Because negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. But when you add negative 2 and negative 3 together, you get negative 5. Now the denominator, we have a difference of two squares. Perfect square minus a perfect square. It factors like this. I have an x plus 2 and an x minus 2. It's square root of the first term, square root of the second term, and then 1 plus and 1's minus. Times the second fraction. All right, 2 sets of parentheses. I'm going to have an x and an x. Everything's positive, so plus, plus. Numbers that multiply to give you 2, but add to 3 are 2 and 1. So 2 times 1 makes 2. 2 plus 1 makes 3. And then let's factor our denominator. All right, we're going to have an x and an x. Numbers that multiply to give you a negative 3, they have to have opposite signs. So one's plus and one's a minus. And they have to add to give you a negative 2. So 3 and 1, negative 3 with positive 1. Because when I add those together, I get negative 2. But, oops, excuse me, I said 1 and I wrote a 2. Let me fix that. All right, because when I multiply negative 3 times 1, I get negative 3. But when I add them, I get my negative 2. All right, now what we do is we cancel top to bottom like factors. Okay, so I have an x minus 2 and an x minus 2. Those would cancel. I have an x plus 1 right here, and an x plus 1. Now I have an x plus 2 and an x plus 2. So those cancel. I have an x minus 3 and an x minus 3. Oh, wow. So what have I got left? 1. So for this one, it just simplifies to give me 1. All right, there we have it. Normally, there might be something left over on top and bottom, but sometimes you get everything to cancel. That means it's 1. All right, have fun with these. Have a great day.